Hello everybody, I'm Katie and welcome to Weekly Geek, the show where I tell you things about comics and graphic novels and manga things because I can and want to. This week's video is going to be about the Green Lantern. Okay, not all of Green Lantern because A, I don't have like 5 hours to do this video, and B, really complicated. But here's the basic backstories and some fun information for the 6 Green Lanterns of Sector 2814. Alan Scott is the original Green Lantern of the Golden Age. He was first appeared in All-American Comics, issue 16, in July of 1940. He was a railroad worker, and during a bridge collapse, he found this green railroad lamp, which then told him to fashion a ring out of its metal, and that turned him into the first Green Lantern. That's right, kids. If you do what green railroad lamps tell you to, you will become the Green Lantern. Or people will think you're crazy. It's worth it. Alan Scott wears a suit of red, purple, and green, which makes him a little bit more fun, I guess. He's a little bit more standout-ish against his then successors because, you know, they all wear the green and black jumpsuit things. After discovering his powers, he then discovered his one weakness: wood. Yup, more random Golden Age weaknesses. He then went on to fight Solomon Grundy, and was the first person to fight Solomon Grundy, who is seen basically everywhere in the DC universe. I'm pretty sure he has fought, like, everyone in the DC universe. But, yeah. He was then revamped in the New 52, and it turned out that he was actually gay. So, you know, I think they were making a joke with the flamboyant get-up and stuff. Pretty sure. Okay, so earlier this week in my book video, I asked you a question, and that question was, who is the second Green Lantern? And the answer to that is Hal Jordan. Probably the most well-known and by far the most powerful Green Lantern of all time. Hal Jordan was the Silver Age Green Lantern and first appeared in Showcase Comics number 22 in October of 1959. While testing a flight simulator, an energy field surrounded him and took him to Abin Sur, which a member of the Green Lantern Corps and who controlled then, I guess, Sector 2814, which is Earth, by the way. While dying, Abin Sur used his power ring to find the most worthy successor, and he actually found 2 people. He found Hal Jordan and Guy Gardner, but we'll get back to Guy Gardner in a minute. Hal Jordan happened to be closer to the crash site, so the ring chose him. Hal Jordan is one of the founding members of the Justice League and is now the leader of the Green Lantern Corps. And like I said, the most powerful Green Lantern of all time. Now, moving right along, we have Guy Gardner. Yep, that guy that I mentioned 5 seconds ago. He was the 3rd Green Lantern. As I said, again, like 10 seconds ago now, he was the other human that Abin Sur called, and was probably a better choice for a Green Lantern simply due to some of Hal's really bad personality issues, but Hal was closer to the crash site. I actually don't know much about Guy Gardner, and I couldn't find a whole lot about him other than like Wikipedia page stuff. And you can't really trust Wikipedia, but I do know that Guy was first seen in Green Lantern number 59 in March of 1968. He was one of the weirder Green Lanterns, and was definitely known for it. He often made random things with his powering, like motorcycles and cell phones. And I'm pretty sure he was known for mooning the Justice League. But he ended up being in a few accidents, and which kind of took away his powering. And he later on gave up the ring entirely for the red powering of rage. Now we come to John Stewart, who was first seen in Green Lantern issue number 87 in December of 1971. He is the fourth Green Lantern and the one that I most definitely grew up with because he was in the cartoons that I watched on Cartoon Network. I think they're Justice League and Justice League Unlimited. And let me tell you, I was really confused the first time I saw Hal Jordan. I had no idea that a different Green Lantern existed back then. Mind blown. Anyway, John came about when artist Neil Adams came up with the idea for substitute Green Lanterns. The decision to make the character black resulted from a conversation between Adams and editor Julia Schwartz, in which Adams recounts saying, and I quote, we ought to have a black Green Lantern, not because we're liberals, but just because it makes sense. John Stewart has become a major reoccurring character in the Green Lantern and DC mythos since then. John is an architect and a veteran U.S. Marine from Detroit, Michigan, who was selected by the Guardians as a backup Green Lantern for the then current Green Lantern Hal Jordan after one of Guy Gardner's accidents. Although Jordan objected to having Stewart a Green Lantern due to some he was very belligerent and he did not like authority, so Jordan basically just didn't think that he would make a good Green Lantern. The Guardians stood by their decision and basically were like, Jordan, shut up. And quite a few more words than that. They just told him that he was being a bigot, basically. Since all that happened, Stewart has now become the main trainer for the incoming Green Lanterns due to his military background. Now that brings us to the fifth Green Lantern, Kyle Rayner. He was first seen in Green Lantern Volume 3. That brings us to the fifth Green Lantern, Kyle Rayner. He was first seen in Green Lantern issue number 48 in 1994. Before he acquired his Green Lantern ring, Kyle Rayner was a struggling to be but very talented graphic artist who was raised in North Hollywood and currently lived in Los Angeles. Rayner was found by the last surviving Guardian of the Universe, Ganthet. Ganthet gave Kyle the last working Green Lantern powering. Reasons for choosing Kyle to bear the ring have not been completely shown. Like, you don't really know aside from the fact that he was just there. Ganthet is quoted as saying, "You will have to do." He then charges Kyle with basically fixing all of the stuff that Hal Jordan destroyed throughout the universe. Did I forget to mention that Hal kind of was possessed by a monster of pure fear and went on a psychopathic rampage throughout the universe just about killing everything? It's not that important. Kyle later became a White Lantern, and that is where he is today. I just felt like telling you that. That brings us to the current Green Lantern, Simon Baz. He first appeared in 2012's New 52 as a successor to Hal Jordan after a thing happened that I'm not going to tell you about because complicatedness. As a young adult, Simon began to get involved in street racing and eventually car theft. The former because his brother-in-law is in a coma in the hospital, and the latter because of the rising financial crisis of Detroit. After losing his job Simon is fired from his job, and in one night, in a moment of desperation, he steals the wrong car. And while trying to evade the police in the stolen van, Simon finds out that there is a bomb inside the stolen vehicle. Not knowing anything about it, or how big it is, not knowing anything about it or how big it is, Simon drives it into the car factory he got fired from, knowing that no one would be hurt in the explosion. The resulting explosion is seen as an act of terrorism due to his racial and religious background. He then escapes from custody when the Green Lantern ring finds him, getting the attention, and he gains the attention of the Justice League, whom he then basically just beats up in a really cool way. He's pretty cool. I kind of like Simon, not gonna lie. I like Simon Bass. Okay, anyway, that is all I have time for today because I'm a little bit busy and I kind of chose a really bad time to make this video. This wasn't mounds of information, but I hope that you did learn something, and if not, I apologize. I'm going to eventually do more Green Lantern stuff because the world is really huge. There's a lot to it. I mean, it is detailed, and I mean, I should probably say something about the other rings, like the red ring and the white ring and all those things that I had said in this video, but those will be later on. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like I said a minute ago, like, comment, and subscribe if you did. We have 3 videos coming out every week. You have my book videos on Tuesdays, Kayleen's book videos on Thursdays, and my Weekly Geeks on Saturdays. Now, I can't end a Green Lantern video without saying the Green Lantern oath. Okay? In brightest day, in darkest night, no evil shall escape my sight. Let those who worship evil's might beware my power, Green Lantern light! I love saying that! Wait, no. No, I can't end a Green Lantern video without saying the Green Lantern oath, okay? I just can't do it. In brightest day, in darkest night, no evil shall escape my sight. Let those who worship evil's might beware my power, Green Lantern light!